It is Thursday, everyone. I'm Andrew Doud. Time for our Happening in the Hamptons podcast, our weekly breakdown of the Hamptons market, new listings, and events on the East End. We are sponsored today by New York Title Abstract, the Hamptons' leading title insurance firm. Visit newyorktitle.com. We have Steve Glick, Dave Rotiner, and return guest, my better half, Miss Sarah Doud. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me. It's an exciting time of the year.
Yeah, good to have you back on. So here we are, starting 2025. You've been busy.
Yes.
I know. And so tell us a little bit about what 2025 has looked like for you so far. A lot happening with you kind of all over, but a lot going on in Hampton Bays.
Yeah, so interesting compared to last year. Last year was a little bit, we were on the podcast and we talked about how it was kind of like crickets through the holidays and crickets into January. This January has been explosive. So I do have listings from West Hampton Beach all the way out, out east and one in Sag Harbor. Majority of my work currently is in Hampton Bays. Everything is in contract. And wow. I think that's huge and telling to two things, to the market in general, that the market is alive and thriving and moving. We're talking cash offers, off-market deals, full ask deals, full ask listing price offers. So those are the things that sellers want to see. Those are the things that sellers are getting. So if it's done right, marketed right with the right agent, the market is alive and well. I think we're going to see a really great 2025 personally.
So the other thing that's going on in Hampton Bays is this proposed downtown redevelopment, which is going to basically connect the existing Main Street with Good Ground Park, which is just to the north. And there's a large chunk of land that's owned by Alfred Caiola and some partners, and they are looking to basically put in a mixed-use space there. So to that point, we have Mr. Alfred Caiola on the phone with us, joining us today. So, Mr. Caiola, first of all, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can you give us a quick rundown of what's going on?
Firstly, thank you for having me. Really appreciate being able to share my thoughts and vision with you and others and your listeners. So basically, I've been in and around Hampton Bays from when I was a child. We bought a property, my family and I, back in 2000, and built a sort of a family compound, and we've loved it ever since. But I always recall, not having a place necessarily to go into in downtown and sort of walk around, see people, get a coffee, shop a little, or what have you. And that was something that, I think myself and others really missed about Hampton Bays. But we envisioned a different kind of Main Street or a Main Street that evolves in not only one direction through back and forth, but in width.
This is not a visual platform, so just to kind of paint the picture for folks, we're talking about Main Street moving east to west, and then there's a chunk of property above that on the north side, and then the park. So our landscape, if you will, would be that zone, and you're looking to kind of do all of this on the north side of Main Street, correct?
That's correct. So there was a lot of, little bits and storefronts along there and, insurance offices and things of that nature. But behind it, all the way to Good Ground Park, is 600 feet of wooded area. So we proceeded to, acquire all of those parcels in and around the access road to the park between Montauk Highway and the Park Road, so that we could start to develop and design an offshoot to the existing very linear segmented Main Street and create a really pedestrian-friendly, diverse store-to-store-to-store mixed-use downtown that could remain vibrant, for years to come, and it'll be a sustainable type of situation. Oftentimes downtowns are, just the store and maybe a little bit of some residential, but at night it's pitch black dark and you really don't have a reason to go there. By creating a mixed use downtown, which was my vision, we would sustain life 24/7 in the downtown, but always keeping the charm of Hampton Bays. We never wanted to envision something where the design would impose in any way on the character and feel of Hampton Bays. So we went about creating this design with some really brilliant master planners and believe we came up with an excellent design. You can see that on our website at hbdtr.com, which is Hampton Bays Downtown Revitalization .com, and it'll show you exactly where this entire new Main Street or extension of Main Street, which is pedestrian friendly, will lead you right to the park with all sorts of diverse store-to-store shops.
Alfred, where do things stand as far as when we might see this project underway and breaking ground?
Yeah, so we've been on this 9-year path, but we've recently picked up tremendous momentum. We're sharing our vision with the town people who, many of them never even knew it existed, this park and this vision. So I think the momentum has begun. I think what's really helped it tremendously is that the mixed use concept, where people may shy away from the concept of residences in downtown. There's a tremendous need for affordable housing, which doesn't mean low income housing. It means housing for the young professionals so that they can grow their lives in Hampton Bays and provide their skills and services and have their families continue in Hampton Bays as opposed to moving out. So that's a big part of this mixed use concept, not only to keep the downtown vibrant, but also to provide much needed affordable housing.
As part of this development, there would be a sewage treatment facility that would have to be installed that would benefit not just this redevelopment area that you're proposing, but also the existing downtown, which would give current businesses and buildings the opportunity to I guess, grow or at least expand what their use availability would be.
Absolutely. And, I think clearly the STP, the treatment plant, is key. Without that, nothing happens, because you just don't have the right to do anything really, even commercially, enough to, create the proper downtown environment. So that's critical. I think what's important to understand is, while we're creating a new pedestrian-friendly Main Street connecting Montauk Highway to the park, the critical mass necessary to tip the scale where it really becomes a destination place, is able to happen because we've acquired enough to create that critical mass. And what will happen is, by virtue of bodies coming to Hampton Bays to shop, to walk, to dine, to enjoy the park, and the STP, the stores along Montauk Highway will be able to upgrade and have much more foot traffic, and their businesses will also thrive over time. So,
and Alfred,
we're not abandoning Main Street. We're enhancing downtown so that all of downtown can thrive.
And Alfred, people listening might wonder, what is this going to cost me? The resident in Hampton Bays who might be listening, what is it going to cost me? And what would your answer be to that?
People are afraid that it's going to cost more in taxes and so forth, but that's to the contrary. This will be a really revenue-generating source for the town. I believe that it will, in fact, allow taxes not to be raised because of the revenue that this will generate.
All right, Alfred, thanks so much for having us on. You had given that website earlier. We'll have people go there and check things out. And good luck with this project. I know it's been a long time coming, but we appreciate all your insight and your information. And thanks for joining us today.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
So, Sarah, I know you've been following this closely. You're also a member of the Hampton Bays Chamber of Commerce. Is there anything else you want to add to this and kind of how you see this impacting the real estate landscape in Hampton Bays?
Well, we already know that the real estate landscape is doing great in Hampton Bays, and I think that this concept just really adds to an already terrific situation for Hampton Bays. There's still a lot of questions, there's still a lot of research, there's still a lot of brainstorming, but the wonderful thing about this is that there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of opportunities for people to weigh in. If you have questions, come to the meetings and ask them. Go to the website and see all the information that's there. So it's an idea worth paying attention to.
It sounds like he's been working on this for a while. I think he mentioned he's been working on it for 9 years now or something like that. And he has a really impressive website that has all different renderings of what it will look like and his vision of it. And it's really powerful that the fact that it includes also, he mentioned affordable housing, to have more housing for young professionals to live in Hampton Bays and to start their life is great to see. And then having additional shops and restaurants and places to visit, it's a huge destination, and I'm sure it will enhance
it's the biggest
Hampton
problem.
Bays and the real estate market.
The biggest problem in Hampton Bays, the town is completely perfect. It's a beautiful spot. It's right on the water. They have great restaurants, but one thing you just really can't do in Hampton Bays is just walk around
exactly.
and look in the windows.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I do that all the time in Southampton. I just do like a lap around town with my
I just
kid.
did it in West Hampton the other day.
Yeah,
You
there's
just-
multiple
you can't
streets in
do it
those
there. In
towns
Hampton
where
Bays,
Hampton Bays, you
doesn't
just
feel
got
right. Yeah.
You just have Montauk Highway.
So
people
it would be
breezing
so
through.
great if that was fixed. It would completely change. It would completely change how people feel about it.
So how can someone support this cause? Is there something we could do?
I think he mentioned the alliance meetings. I think
Okay.
those are great to attend because they often bring in experts. So someone from the town, someone who can answer septic questions, someone who can answer tax questions. So whatever it is that you have on your mind that you're wondering about, chances are they're going to have an expert that can relay some really great information to you. So I think just showing support at this point is the best thing that anybody can do. And there might be some questions out there that we need answered. So if you have this burning idea in your brain, bring it forward and let's get an answer to
This
it.
has been getting a lot of buzz. I've been reading about this a lot on 27 East, on these the Patch website, and all these local websites. Lately, it's been all over the place. So I know that the momentum's there. I know he's been working on it for a while, but in the past year, it's been front and center.
To me, it feels a lot like what just happened in West Hampton Beach. You know, they did a big push. They did a new sewage, sewage lines and stuff,
Yep.
and it really enhanced downtown. It's beautiful. I know we go to West Hampton Beach a lot just to enjoy it. You know, they got great restaurants, dining. To me, my hope is that it has a similar vibe.
And everyone's spending from it, from the locals to the shop owners to the restaurant owners. Everyone's going to benefit from a revitalization and
every
improvement.
town deserves to have that. Just the ability to what are we doing today? Oh, let's go into town. Let's get a cup of coffee. Let's walk
Let's
around.
people watch. Let's
Yeah.
window shop.
Every town deserves that.
I hope he gets this thing approved. That'll be
And
awesome.
myself, my family goes back many generations there, as well as out east here in Bridgehampton. And the history is very important to me. And I think what I love most about this is that it also seems to really resonate with Alfred also. So if we can preserve the character and the history and make it
Fantastic.
true to Hampton Bays, I think that's the win here.
That's a very good point.
Great.
So let's shift gears a little bit to the numbers, Steve. As Sarah was saying, she's been busy, obviously. So what's the big picture looking like?
All right, so this past week, 24 listings went into contract. Last year, 27 listings. So it's a small decrease of 11%, but 24 is still a strong number to see of activity in the Hamptons. 2 years ago, there were 18 listings, so it's an increase of 33% there. The breakdown of the 24 transactions this week, there was one between 10 and 15 million, 3 between 5 and 10 million, 4 between 3 and 5 million, 5 between 2 and 3 million, 4 between 1 and 2 million, 7 under $1 million. Dollar volume is 74 million. Last year was 102 million, so it's a decrease of 27%. But 2 years ago, the dollar volume was 37 million, so it's a big increase of 100%. New listings coming on the market, 19 coming on, so that decreases the inventory by 5 listings. The breakdown of those 19 new listings, there was 1 over 20, 2 between 10 and 20, 4 between 5 and 10, 2 between 3 and 5, 3 between 2 and 3, 5 between 1 and 2, 2 under $1 million. Inventory's at 1,731 total listings, 1,308 active, 423 in contract. So a steady week. It's good to see over 20 listings going into contract and close to 20 listings coming on the market.
And you have, Sarah, you have what, 4, 5?
Hey,
in contract
one
right
listing
now?
left. Everything else is in contract.
This
We got
one,
left.
I want you to highlight this one because
Yeah.
are you talking about the Sag Harbor one?
Yeah, 55 Wickatuck in Sag Harbor.
love this list.
The reason it's still left is because we've decided the owner's gut renovating the kitchen. So we're going to be putting it kind of back on. It's still on, but we're going to be doing our open houses with a brand new kitchen. So this house is literally going to be renovated, turnkey, 900 feet to Long Beach. You've got an office space. You've got 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, expansion plans, room for a pool. You can see Long Beach. You can smell the salt air. It's a fabulous location. The price is right. It's a great price point for someone who just wants that entry level.
This one's
Sag
sitting
harbor.
out there. This one's the one.
This is the one to grab. I don't know why it's still available.
I cannot believe it.
But I'm telling you, with this new kitchen, this thing is the next one to go. And
awesome.
Like you saw with the other ones, they go quickly.
If you check out the drone shot, which is pretty great, if I do say so myself, whoever took that, me. But it highlights, it shows Long Beach and Sag Harbor. I mean, you're
and the
little over a
rental
mile.
history on this property is so solid. It's a small house, right? But this little house has gotten extraordinary rental numbers, consistent rental income. This is a win for someone using it as, just their beach house or someone who wants an investment.
There you go. Speaking of wins, what's the winning? This isn't my best transition, I'll admit. But what's the winning thing to do this weekend?
Ooh, there it is.
I was trying to put together how you
Got it out there.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There is Groundhog's Day this weekend.
No, it's not. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's February 2nd.
Oh man! All
So
right.
that's happening. So there's
Great movie.
It is a great movie. It's a weird holiday. I
can't believe it's here
admit
already.
that. Yeah. But I guess we're having a groundhog celebration.
Do
with
you have a
Alan
prediction?
the groundhog. Well, you're going to find out at 11 a.m. There's a groundhog named Alan in Hampton Bays at the Evelyn Alexander Wildlife Rescue Center in Hampton Bays. So
much.
Bring the kids down, and if he sees his shadow, that means, what does that mean? Does that mean there's more or less?
6 more weeks of winter.
There's 6 more weeks of winter if he sees his shadow.
You think so?
Checking Google.
And so what does he do? Does he give the nod? Like if he sees his shadow, he goes, I saw it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think he goes back in the.
gets
Doesn't he go back in the hole? He goes back in, I think.
It's very cute. So that's in Hampton Bays.
Poor groundhog.
You wanted to mention the Southampton Playhouse?
Yeah, for one of my clients, I just want to give them a playful plug here. The Southampton Playhouse coming soon. We all went there as kids to see movies. It's been a long time coming with this restoration project, and it's really exciting that they're going to be opening soon. I know I'm excited to be there and bring our family. It's kind of the cinema meets community spirit concept. They're going to have entertainment, education, community, theater, live performance, local arts. It's really going to be fun and something that the community can enjoy all year round. So I think a little bit of a soft opening coming soon, and then this summer should be really fun there. So look for that as you're driving by. It looks like they're doing the final touches.
That
Nice.
sounds great.
Quick update. A tradition derived originally from the Pennsylvania Dutch superstition that if a groundhog emerges from its burrow on the day and sees its shadow, it will retreat to its den,
Yes.
and winter will go on.
Yep. 6 more weeks.
So if it doesn't see its shadow, I guess early spring.
That's what we're hoping for.
Great. Okay, continue.
Continuing on.
It's from the internet.
You know,
so it's true.
Doud, as you know, Steve and I are really into physical fitness and nutrition. And so we highly recommend this event. It's
Why is Sarah laughing?
the Levain. It's the Levain Bakery and Kids Squid in Sag Harbor combo.
Beer and pastries.
So it's among the healthiest thing you could do for your body. It's on February 1st from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and at Kids Squid Brewing Company in Sag Harbor. They will be also offering Levain cookies, which is about the size of it's a giant blob of butter and sugar and chocolate and nuts. And it's
Deliciousness.
unbelievable. And then you can wash it down with a 400 calorie IPA. And then you can go home and move on with your life.
That's great
So
because the
I
New Year's
recommend doing that.
resolutions have tapered off. January's
Yeah.
over. You're moving into February.
Yeah,
Let's get back to where we're comfortable.
right.
Okay.
Cry yourself to sleep.
Right, sure.
Why did I do that?
Sounds like a nice
I don't
treat.
know. It sounds pretty unbelievable, though. So you could do that. And then, this is kind of a goofy one. There's a family fun drop-in creative lab late night open studio. That's January 31st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the church at 48 Main Street in Sag Harbor. And you can drop in and you can do art, which sounds pretty cool. And there's going to be artists there giving directions on how to paint, and they'll have all the arts and crafts and stuff like that. So it sounds like an easy breezy kids thing to do, get out with the kids. And so that's what's going on this in the weekend.
Great.
Nice. All right. So we're back next week. It's February. Hey, plenty going on. The market's busy. Sarah's busy. I know we've talked to other agents. They got a lot going on. So it's good. The real estate market seems to be moving right along and doing what it does. Until then, we will see you next week. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Thank you to Mr. Alfred Caiola for his time today and explanations on what's happening in Hampton Bays. Until next week, everybody have a great day. I'm Andrew Doud, and that's what's happening in the Hamptons.